Welcome class to your assignments video for chapter 3. First thing I want you to note about chapter 3 is that it is a 1-week chapter, not a 2-week chapter. And the reason I do that is because the content is not that extensive with regards to what we have to do for assignments. And therefore it just adds a little bit more time for further chapters coming. Okay, so when make sure that you're going through chapter 3, make sure you're doing the striped umbrella. It's just going to make all these exercises that much easier to complete. So a little bit modifications on page 27 for a striped umbrella, nothing too extreme. And then you're going to go ahead and complete balloons and bulbs, pages 34 and 35. So let's go ahead and get to pages 34 and 35. So skills review. So we're just going to step through what we did for all 5 lessons. You're going to create the unordered and ordered lists. You're going to go ahead and create a headings.css file, create a class in there. Okay, apply some CSS declarations. Then you're going to look at the code through BB underscore styles. Can you identify what are the global styles versus tablet versus desktop? Then you're going to go ahead and add a Lobster 2 font. Okay, you're going to apply that to a header 1. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and use coding tools to view and edit rules. So when you're all done, your tips page for blooms and bulbs should look like this, okay? And this is just what the index page looks like, okay? So that is blooms and bulbs. Let's go ahead and look at Tripsmart, and from your experience thus far, Tripsmart kind of backs off on the step-by-step instructions. And so same thing, we're gonna actually create a new file. We're gonna open up dw3_1. So in your chapter 3 folder of your data files, you're gonna name that as newsletter. Okay, and then you're going to create an unordered list. You're going to create that external style sheet file, create a class in there, apply it. Now you get to choose the properties and values. Okay, so that's what just going to be applied to this. Be organized, carry important information with you, and so on. So, and then you're going to redefine the header 1 tag using a font of your choice of an Adobe. It says actually you can do, if you like, you can choose an Edge Web font, Adobe Edge Web font. If you do that, just make sure that before the closing head tag that you actually see that script tag being brought in. Okay, so in this example, this is an Adobe Edge Web font. Okay, and you will only be able to see those in live view or in browser. Okay, so that is Tripsmart. Then we get into Coffee Shop. So Coffee Shop, I've got detailed instructions on what you want to do there. So it says to consult your wireframe, but don't do that. Let's go to, actually it says 2, 3, and 4. Since this is a beginning course in Dreamweaver and not a class in CSS page layout, okay, you do have experience in CSS and definitely in page layout for sure as well. Okay, but we kind of moved around things in the curriculum, and so you really don't get extensive CSS in this semester. You will in your 3rd semester. So we're going to use the home page from Striped Umbrella as our CSS page layout. Okay, so it says with the CSS index file open, save it as index2. So your current index file, okay, the one you created for chapter 2, okay, I want you to resave that. So file save as, and you want to save it as index2.html. It's kind of like our backup, okay, because now we're going to use the index page from Striped Umbrella as our index page. So let me do this with you. So in my page right here, okay, in my coffee shop website, which I do not have a nice home page. Maybe I do. Okay, I just have this. Okay, so you have to imagine the beauty of yours in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as index2. Okay, so now I have a backup here, and you'll have your keywords in your description and your 200 words here and all of this stuff here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close this out, close both of those out. I'm going to refresh my files panel, make sure I have that index2. I'm going to go back to Striped Umbrella, open up index, And I'm going to go Files, Save As, and then I'm going to navigate this to my coffee shop, and I'm going to save it. And then it's going to prompt me to overwrite the file, yes. Okay, you get this error, just click OK. Update links, no. Okay, so now if I view this, my index page in design view, actually this is Striper Umbrella. Now I'll go back to coffee shop. So you're going to have to navigate back and forth between these two sites. This is what it brought over because we don't have the supporting related files yet. So to do that, you can use Dreamweaver to do this or use your File Explorer. You need to copy boilerplate. You can hold down the Control key, SU Styles, and Respawn, and then right-click and go to Edit and to Copy, then back to Coffee Shop. Right-click on the root folder, and then Edit and Paste. Now when I open up my index file, I have my layout. I don't have my banner, and I don't want the banner because, again, this is going to be your coffee shop site. Okay? So the next step that you need to do is you need to rename the SU Styles file CS_styles. So for coffee shop, right? So I'm going to go ahead and right-click here and then go to Edit and Rename. When we rename files through the Files panel, it'll automatically update the link to that file. Okay, so I'm going to hit Enter, and it's going to prompt me, and I'm going to say, yes, I want to update. So now over my Related Files toolbar, I say CS_styles. And if I look at the source code, I also see CS_styles. Okay, so that is 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to copy your page content from your Chapter 2 work. Okay, so I'm going to open up my Index 2, and I don't have any. Poo-poo on me, right? Okay, and I'm going to come to my design view, and all of this information here I'm going to replace with my information, including the address information down here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of this out so I don't want to confuse. So all of your information here. Then you're going to use Code View, okay, and grab your meta name equal keywords and your meta name equal description, and you're going to paste those in your code section over here right before, well, actually over these. Okay, so over meta name equal keywords and meta name equal description here. Okay, so paste over what's there for Striper Umbrella. Okay, so that's 4 and 5. Then you're going to update the page title as well, okay, from your page title that you created for Chapter 2, which hopefully has some SEO in it, meaning you have maybe a location, right, as well as some of the keywords that you used from my keyword document. Okay, and then save index 2 over index. Okay, so here is, maybe I have the directions wrong there. Save index 2. No. Okay, so this is design. Nope, then you're just going to save it. That's all you're going to do. I'll update that direction. I'm just going to say then save index. And then I want you to go ahead and add your own CSS styles. Now we practiced that in Chapter 2. Maybe you add a style for heading 1, heading 2, those kind of things. So I'm just going to say save index. Okay, so that's updated. Then add your own CSS. So I'm going to look for CSS styles when I go ahead and correct this, okay? And maybe it's just on a heading 1. Maybe that's all that you can come up with at this point, but at least you've applied something. If you get hung up on these steps, just let me know, okay? Happy to collaborate with you and work through that. Now, one more thing for the assignment, complete experiment with text color contrast wiki. So you're going to go ahead and complete this. The color of your text you display in your pages has a lot to do with how readable your text will be for site visitors. For best results, choose a color that contrasts well with the background. Now, you can choose different background colors, okay, and that's these other things that you can add for your CSS for Coffee Shop. Okay, you use the internet to search for information on how to find the right mix of text and background colors for your site. Okay, and then supply those 2 URLs and then summarize 2 to 4 complete sentences based on each of those 2 sources. Okay, I'll get this image in here as well. Okay, questions on any of the assignments? Let me know. Reminder again, only 1 week. Okay, so next Monday is when these are going to be due. Okay.